All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So the Celtics have signed Noah Vonleh, who, interestingly enough, is from right here, Massachusetts, Haverhill, Massachusetts. I actually played against Noah in high school too, which makes the signing pretty cool. But we're gonna jump on here just a few minutes and give our reaction. Obviously, we don't by the looks of it, don't have our normal setup or anything like that. So we're not going to do screen share, jump into react to the highlights or anything like that. But I do kind of want to talk about, I guess, the potential, or I guess how much of an impact Noah Vonleh could have on this team. He was drafted damn near a decade ago in 2014. He was drafted ninth overall by the Charlotte Hornets. Ninth pick overall there. And he just recently started to play overseas there with the Shanghai Sharks. We have his stats there too, but Noah's only averaged 4.9 points per game in his NBA career, and it's been a decently, length NBA career. He started to play when he was 19. His last season was 2 years ago when he was 25. He played 4 games for the Nets. Before that, he played 7 games for the Nuggets, and then he did kind of play some serviceable minutes, I guess, 12 to 15 minutes per game for a bunch of other teams, including Charlotte, Portland, Chicago, New York, Minnesota, and then, like we said, Denver and Brooklyn. But he has not done much in the NBA whatsoever. And I don't necessarily know if that's going to change. That's what we're going to talk about here today. The first thing I will say, and actually, why don't we give his Shanghai stats from last year as well? So we played 28 games, averaged 14.4 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and 2.1 assists per game. Actually, 9 rebounds per game. I read that wrong. And almost 2 steals, too. So, I mean, he did have some good games. I'm seeing one 30-point night on January 11th. So, the competition obviously isn't the same in that league, in the CBA. But we do see, I guess, improvement from the NBA to the CBA playing against that competition, which, I'm going to probably say that is competition related, but it's not like he went to China and then still scored 4.9 points per game. At least he's got a little bit of an upgrade there. But in terms of the Celtics signing him, and let's see if I can pull up the deal on my phone here for the numbers, because all it is a 1-year deal. I don't think we've seen exactly how much it's worth, but it's not going to be worth anything. This is probably going to be something that barely impacts financially. So I guess it's worth the flyer. But I did want to say, like I said, I played against Noah in high school, but even before that, and I doubt he remembers this, but I went to a basketball camp, and it was in Cedardale. I don't know if anyone from around the area knows that, but at Cedardale, I went to a basketball camp, got there kind of early. My dad brought me in. I think I was in 5th grade. And all of a sudden, there's one kid shooting in the gym. He was going to the camp too, and so I started shooting around with him. And then my dad was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." And he's like, "Hey, I'm Noah." And we all shook hands. Me being my 11-year-old 5th grade self. Same thing with Noah. Shook hands. And then my dad said, he talked to me afterwards. He goes, "You notice how big that kid was?" And I guess I was too young to really even notice. But he goes, "When I shook that kid's hand," and this is my dad, a grown man, shook that kid's hand. He said, his fingers went all the way up to my elbow when I shook his hand. He's gonna be in the NBA someday or something. And boom, there he is now. He did have his hiatus. He went to play in Shanghai, but he is back in the NBA with the Celtics. But in terms of an impact, it's kind of what I wanted to answer here, I guess. I don't think Noah Vonleh is going to have much of an impact on the team. I do like the theatrics of him being, born and raised in Massachusetts and coming and play for the hometown team after sort of being cast out by a bunch of other NBA teams. Can he now come back and make something of himself? That's good. I like that aspect of it. I just don't want to get our hopes too high here. He is 6'10", 260 pounds, so he can play that big man position. In the NBA, he kind of was, I feel like, needless to say, I guess, getting kind of overpowered by bigs. He's more of a stretch big, but hopefully he's worked on a little bit in terms of playing down low, because the Celtics did need that extra big man. That was one of the things we made a video about a while back. The Celtics needed that big man. They had a void, and they hadn't really addressed it in the offseason, so maybe they take a flyer on him. Maybe they liked what they saw out of Noah Vonleh in Shanghai, or times that they'd seen him in the past or anything like that. Hopefully that's the case, because the Celtics do need the big man, and Noah Vonleh kind of needs a team at this point to take a chance on him, because he has not been anything to brag about in the NBA whatsoever. He hasn't even had a double-digit points per game season, and he's barely playing minutes throughout the whole. New York Knicks, he played 25 minutes per game back in 2018-19, and that's when he averaged 8.4 points per game and 8 rebounds per game. If they can have that, Noah Vonleh, 8.5 points, 8 boards, he actually may be able to help this team. We need him to do that. We need him to be that Noah Vonleh, because, like I said, it could be a match. The Celtics need a big. There's a lot of opportunity there. Noah Vonleh needs a team to take a chance on him. So maybe that's the case here, but I'm not too excited about this. I like the theatrics of him being a hometown kid more than I do what he actually can do on the court. But maybe, he's not going to let this second chance at the NBA go by. Maybe he's going to work his ass off and actually be something in this league. So if Noah Vonleh can come in and play, and these are high numbers too, so that's shows you kind of what I'm expecting from him to begin with. But if he can come in and play maybe 15 minutes a game, and that again is high. He may not play at all, but if he can play 15 minutes a game and score 8 points and grab 5-6 rebounds, then I think that he could be a serviceable sort of rotational player for them. What I think that he's probably going to do is come in, maybe have to fight for minutes, probably not even play. Who knows if he even stays on the team, long term. It is a 1-year deal. I don't know what the terms are of that. So if it is a 1-year full deal, they'll probably ride it out. But I don't think that he's going to be much. But I'm hoping he can come in and kind of work into being a player that he, maybe once was with Portland, Chicago, and then New York. Just kind of a role player, a guy that could give you minutes. He's not going to kill you, not going to do anything for you, but at least he's another big body throw out there. So that's kind of what I expect from him. And if he does his job and plays really, really well, then I'm looking at 15 minutes, 8 points, 6 rebounds at the best. So I'm not too high on the player. I like the story, and maybe he does come in and shows a little potential. He's still only 26 years old. Probably going on 27 sometime, obviously, in the next season. But that's still young enough to turn things around. So hopefully that's the case. But that's all I got for you guys today. Again, no mic, no normal camera, no screen share for the reaction to the highlights or anything like that. But hope you guys do enjoy. Make sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.